Hello, my dear YouTube students. Welcome back to my channel. Today in this video, we are going to learn a summary of a class 10 lesson, Ulysses and the Cyclops. This is a supplementary chapter, and let's see within few minutes the whole summary of the chapter. And if you want to watch the whole explanation of this chapter, it's already uploaded in my channel, and the link of the video will be shared with you all in the description box and even in the I button. So you can go to the link and watch the whole explanation of the chapter. And today let's sum up in short what is this lesson about. But before that, if you're watching my video for the first time, do subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that you get the notification of all the upcoming videos. Do watch the video till end, and if you like it, hit the like button and also share it with your friends. So with this, let's move ahead. But there's one more news for you all, my dear YouTube students, that we also have Scorpio class Hindi channel for you all, and in this channel we are uploading the Hindi lessons explanation, question and answers videos, and the grammar videos of your syllabus of class 8, 9 and 10. So quickly, to get the link, you have to visit the description box and find the link of Scorpio class Hindi channel and subscribe to it. Also, you will find the same link in the I button above so that you can directly go to it and also share it with your friends. Okay. So with this now, let's move ahead and look about the author before starting the summary. So the author of this chapter is Charles Lamb. He was born in 1775 and he died in the year 1834. He was born in London. Now, he was a great essayist, a poet, and a much loved storyteller. He, along with his sister Mary Ann Lamb, wrote tales from Shakespeare designed to make Shakespeare familiar to the young. Okay, so along with his sister, he used to write the tales from Shakespeare. The tales meant story. Okay, so stories of Shakespeare, he used to design it in that manner so that the young children who are there could get familiar to Shakespeare and could read and enjoy his stories. So he would make a bit easier, and then he used to write along with his sister. So this is a brief introduction about our author. Let's quickly jump into the summary. So here, Ulysses and the Cyclops. This is an extract from the book Adventures of Ulysses, which is written by Charles Lamb. Okay, so this is a small extract, small part of that book. Now, the book familiarizes Homer's Greek epic, the Odyssey. So this is a lesson which lets you know or makes you familiar about the Homer's Greek epic. Now Homer is again a great writer, and in that we come to know about the Greek epic, as we have epic stories in India like Ramayana and Mahabharata. In the same way, Greeks also have the epics. So one of it is the Odyssey. So this book, Ulysses and Cyclops, this extract, it is familiarizing the Greek epic, the Odyssey. Okay, now Ulysses, while coming back from his victorious campaign at Troy, is curious to see the land of the Cyclops, the giant shepherds. The Ulysses, who belongs to Greek, and he was in his campaign, like he went to a war and he was victorious and he came back. While coming back, he sees a land which is of Cyclops, and these Cyclops were giant shepherds. Giant means huge, tall, hefty man. Okay, and they were shepherds. They used to gaze the cows and the sheep. So after looking at this land, Ulysses wanted to know whether they were friendly and hospitable or they were wild and savage. So he to know actually what is the character of Cyclops, the whole gang of Ulysses stepped into the island. Now, the owner was not present in the cave. He and his men stayed there the whole day, and then they suddenly heard a thundering sound. So, the owner of this cave was not present at the time when Ulysses and his men entered the cave. Now, so Ulysses and his men stayed there the whole day, and then suddenly they heard a thundering sound. So, what was that sound? The owner had returned. Okay, so the owner Cyclops had come back after grazing his sheep and goats. The Grecians waited for Polyphemus, a one-eyed Cyclops. So now the owner had returned and he had come back after gazing his sheep and goats, and all the sheep and goats also returned. So this Grecians means this Ulysses and his men, they waited there, they hid themselves there itself, and they waited for a cyclop by name Polyphemus, who was one-eyed cyclop. Okay, he was having only one eye and he was most dangerous one. They wanted to see him. So now they were waiting there. The Cyclop entered the cave with all his female sheep and goats and closed the mouth of the cave with a huge stone. So the Cyclop also entered, all the Cyclops came inside with all his female sheep and goats which were out for gazing. And then when all of them entered, he closed the mouth of the cave with a huge big stone. Now Cyclops saw some of the Ulysses men hiding in the cave. Okay, so imagine what would have happened when he sees that some men are hiding in the cave. He took hold of two of them, smashed their heads, and ate them since he was a cannibal, and then he went to sleep. So this Cyclops Polyphemus was a very dangerous person. He was a cannibal, means he was a man-eater. When he saw Ulysses men hiding, he catch hold of two of them, he smashed their heads and ate it them. Okay, because he was a man-eater, he was a cannibal, and then he went to sleep. Now Ulysses, who was seeing all these things, he was very angry. He wanted to kill him at that moment, but he realized that the stone was too huge to be moved by any of his men. Okay, because the cave's mouth was shut, was closed with a huge stone, and that couldn't be moved by any of the Ulysses men because they were not so big and tall and giant as the Cyclops were. So because of that, he had to just keep quiet at that moment, even though when he was very angry and he wanted to kill the Cyclops. So he waited. The next day, Polyphemus again went out with his sheep. Ulysses took advantage of this time and he made some preparations to tackle Cyclops. So he planned out the next day, when he got to know that Polyphemus is going out with his sheep and goes for gazing, he took the advantage of the time and he made all plannings and preparations to tackle, to defeat Cyclops or hurt Cyclops. So in the evening, when Polyphemus came back, he served him with wine, which had its effect, and the giant sank into deep sleep. So when in the evening Polyphemus came back, he was served with the wine. Okay, so Ulysses, they were famous in having some wine, so they made the wine and they offered him, and he drank it very nicely, and it started having effect on the giant's body, and he went into a deep sleep. Okay, now the most awaited time for the Ulysses had come. He, along with his foremen, blinded the monster with a burning stake. So Ulysses was waiting for this moment. When will the time come? And this was the most awaited time for him. So, along with his foremen, Ulysses blinded the monster with a burning stick, with a burning iron rod. Okay, so now Cyclops was blind. The monster cried loudly, so many of the villagers came and asked what had happened. The monster replied that no man had hurt him, and listening to this, all of them went back. So, when the monster was being blinded, it was hurted, it was feeling hurt, and it cried out in pain. So, hearing to his voice and sound, many of the villagers came back and asked what had happened. So, the monster replied that no man had hurt him. Now, Ulysses had said his name as a no man. Okay, he did not say his real name, but his fake name he has introduced to him as the no man. So he said, "No man has hurt me." So listening to this, all the villagers went back. They thought he's gone mad. He's saying no man has hurted him. How can a no man hurt him? Who is no man? Nobody, that means. So they went, but it was actually Ulysses. He had said his false name. The next morning, the sheep got ready to go out. Ulysses tied three rams together and his own man beneath the middle one. Then he hangs on to the fattest sheep. So, what happened next morning when again the sheep got ready to go out for gazing? Ulysses tied three of the rams together, three of the sheep together, so that they could go in a line properly together. And one of his men were tied below the middle ram so that it could not be seen. They could not be seen and they could safely go out along with the rams, along with the sheep. And one of the fattest ram or sheep which was there, below that he hung himself. Okay, that means Ulysses. Now, like this, they hid themselves below the rams, beneath the rams, and then they moved out. So, thus, all the Grecians who were tied to them came out of the cave and were saved. So, though Cyclops was checking his sheep by touching that there are no Ulysses men who are getting or running or escaping from the cave, he couldn't find them because they were beneath the ship and he could not identify. So, in this manner, all the Grecians who were tied there, they all were saved. And this is how the story gets end. And the summary of this chapter also gets end. I hope you all understood the summary and you liked it. If you liked the video, do hit the like button and share it with your friends. Do subscribe my channel and Scorpio's Class Hindi channel too and stay tuned for more such videos. Thank you.